Chernihiv is located in the north of Ukraine. The city is one of the oldest in Eastern Europe. Its history is over 1,300 years old. 1,000 years ago, Chernihiv became the second largest and most important city in the country. Then, as well as now, people who write the history of the city play the main role. In 2015, Vladislav Atroshenko was elected as Chernihiv's city mayor.
Then the city was the 20th in the rating among the 24 regional centers of Ukraine.
2 years later, Chernihiv got into the top 5, and in 2021 it already shared the second place in the quality of life rating. The city developed and became an attractive center for tourists, as well as a comfortable and convenient place for its residents. The city of happy people. But on the 24th of February, Russia started war. Chernihiv became a shield from the Russian occupiers and held the main defense in the north of Ukraine. The length of the state border with Russia and Belarus is 457 kilometers. The enemy surrounded the city from 3 sides and began bombarding Chernihiv from the first days of war. Russian troops used aircraft, artillery, and various types of heavy weapons to shell Chernihiv almost daily. The city lived under fire for 38 days. It was in complete blockade after the enemy destroyed the only way to deliver humanitarian aid, a road bridge across the Desna River. The goal of the Russians was to destroy the facilities of the critical infrastructure that sustained life in the city so as to create a humanitarian catastrophe. For 3 weeks the city lived without electricity, centralized water supply, heat, and partially without gas and communications. About 2,000 private houses were destroyed or severely damaged, as well as 875 high-rise residential buildings. Chernihiv Vodokanal water supply facility suffered severe damage. Most pumping stations were destroyed. 84% of Chernihiv residents were left without water. Water and sewage networks were significantly damaged. Chernihiv heat and power plant was almost destroyed. For the first time in its history, the company had to shut down. 60 units of specialized equipment of municipal enterprises of the city were burned. Workshops and production facilities were destroyed. The contact network of the city's trolleybus service was also significantly damaged. 50% of it was destroyed. 7 trolleybuses and 50% of new bus stops were damaged by the shelling. 2 schools and 1 vocational school were destroyed. Also, 25 schools, 37 kindergartens, and 4 vocational schools were damaged. Russians bombarded even hospitals. They destroyed the children's dental clinic. 5 hospitals in the city were significantly damaged. Industrial enterprises, warehouses, and logistics centers suffered significant losses and destruction. The enemy was forced to run away shamefully from the territory of Chernihiv region, leaving behind human pain and destruction. As a result of Russian aggression, Chernihiv requires rehabilitation. Dozens billion hryvnias are needed for implementation of the relevant projects. Despite huge reduction of budget and lack of finances, Chernihiv City Council started rehabilitation of the damaged objects in the spring, not waiting for the war to be ended. One of the priority tasks is to provide the stable work of municipal water supply enterprise Chernihiv Vodokanal. There's a program for the restoration of the power and heating supply station Chernihiv CHPP. The powerful transformer was purchased with the funds of the city budget. Trolleybus contact lines are being restored and new trolleybus routes are gradually being launched. The funds of the city budget were allocated for the repair of damaged production premises of utility companies and the purchase of new equipment for replacing the destroyed one. The material technical base of healthcare institutions is being rehabilitated. The municipality allocated a significant amount of funds for the restoration of educational institutions, including the construction of shelters. In September, 22 schools started offline educational process. 14 kindergartens opened their doors for children. Since spring, the city has started reconstruction of multi-story buildings with their own budget, providing repair of windows and roofs as well as overhauls of buildings damaged by direct hits of enemy shells. There are also city programs which provide one-time financial aid to owners of private houses and partial compensation for the replacement of damaged windows. Generators, bio-toilets, and benches were purchased for the simplest shelters in more than 950 multi-story buildings with the funds of the city budget. Measures for enhancing defense capacity of the fortifications around Chernihiv were financed in order to prevent repetition of scenarios like those in February-March. Today we know that it was the people and their resilience that held the enemy back. Thanks to our armed forces and reliable support, the northern outpost withstood and did not let the invaders to Kiev. Chernihiv is the city of heroes.